All right. Hello, everyone. And now, why is my microphone this loose? Well, so many things go into setting up a game and setting up a replay for you guys. But, well, let's just go ahead and get this game on the road, shall we? All right, let's take a look at what's going on here. Let me make sure the colors are right. Nope, the colors are wrong. I'm going to go ahead and swap colors. And now we have WNS Coach, also known as FoV, spawning as the blue Undead over here at what I'll call the 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock position. Meanwhile, Moon, well, a Night Elf who needs no introductions, spawning here as the red Night Elf. Night Elf versus Undead in this 1v1. Ancient of War being built off to the side here. We are going to see some Ancient of War creeping. And Moon has really preferred that Keeper of the Grove. The Keeper of the Grove, ever since that boost that it got not too long, or well, it actually feels like over a year ago now. Now that he's gotten that boost since over a year ago, he's just been, well, the Keeper of the Grove has just been a better hero at leading the army. It's allowed for a little bit more solo play on the Night Elf part, allowing the Night Elf player to not only creep early on with minimal army, but also be able to harass. Entangle has always been a bit of an issue for many orc players in the past, and well, more so now than before. Let's go ahead and take a look at it. Acolyte gonna make its way over and quickly scout out his opponent here. He's going to look around, pretty much see that Keeper of the Grove being trained up. Most likely going to be a Death Knight on the far side. Yeah, of the map, yep. We can see FoV with the Death Knight now, opening up Tomb of Relics, getting up some ghouls, as we are now looking to see, well, is a Wisp now going to be trying to set up another expansion? Not quite sure. All right, let's take a look at this. Ancient of War, is it going to head off to the north? It is. It is actually heading off to the north to try and clear out this Ogre Magi creep camp, not the creep camp down over here. An Acolyte has quickly found this location though, and the Ancient of War, oh, big chunk of damage. That Ancient of War nearly smacking down that Acolyte. How a giant tree smacking you in the face doesn't instantly kill you, I don't know, but that damage is done. Keeper of the Grove now making its way out, bringing over a couple of Forces of Nature to try and engage, do a bit of damage. We are going to be looking at ghouls now coming across to, well, a FoV to really put in a lot of pressure. Low hit point Wisp trying to get away. Death Knight is going to be able to get a death coil there. Meanwhile, let's take a look. Death Knight now making its way over. One more shot. It did go Unholy Aura first, so it's going to have a little bit more of a difficult time finally getting that kill. Now going after an Archer there. Archer down to 130 hit points. One more shot should get it down to 103, but it looks like it will be able to run away. Meanwhile, the Keeper of the Grove with some ends able to do a large amount of damage. Keeper of the Grove now trying to finish off the remainder of this creep camp. It does have a crystal ball, as we're now looking at an Archer getting taken down as well. FoV dealing a lot of damage here, and it doesn't look like the Keeper of the Grove will be able to easily hold on to this expansion at all. Death Knight now making its way over. Death Knight, however, only sitting at, well, still sitting only at level 1. Crystal Ball trying to do a little bit of scouting out as well. As we're looking at skeletal minions, well, I believe a skeletal minion or a ghoul just ran back out of there. Not quite sure what the reason was for that. Alright, Ogre Warrior does get taken down. Tome of Intelligence is left behind. Death Knight now chasing after, I believe, a low hit point Wisp. Death Knight with that Unholy Aura moving around the map very quickly, and now going to be swarming with a large amount of ghouls. Let's take a look at this. All of these ghouls now making their way, clearing out this 5-3-3 creep camp. This will be incredibly important, as the Death Knight wants to get to level 2 in a hurry. Having access to that Unholy key as the Death Knight, I don't know if perhaps the Keeper of the Grove, it looks like the Keeper of the Grove actually got the final shot off on that other Null Warden there, and that was the reason why for the delay. Alright, let's take a look at this. Death Knight gets to level 2 and now gonna be trying to go after some more units here. Ent's gonna be joining in on the fight. There's an Entangle. And here is the problem. Such a difficult time trying to protect your own units against this Keeper of the Grove, who can essentially stun down a unit for so long, allowing the Ents to also do a lot more damage as well. 27 supply compared to 26. Army is overall fairly even. Keeper of the Grove is low on mana. Meanwhile, skeletal minions now pushing the units back here, as we are setting up an expansion over there at the, well, 10 o'clock location. Now, economically speaking, Moon is going to have a big advantage as he also techs to tier 2. However, FoV should have a very large advantage here, going already for tier 2, well on its way while getting that graveyard. I don't see any sign of a Hunter's Hall as of yet, and while adding in that first Obsidian statue really has a profound impact on the pacing and course of the game. However, if the economy of Moon pays off, well, things can start to go from good to bad very quickly, as the Undead army, once it gets good levels on their heroes, ends up, well, with a major advantage. And oftentimes that is what ends up happening. If you are setting up an expansion, you are unable to really stabilize, and all of those additional units coming one at a time just turns into a lot of experience for your opponent. It's better to try and mass up units and engage, as opposed to just feeding your opponent experience while fighting on equal footing when you have the economic advantage. Ghouls now making their way across over here onto those archers. Meanwhile, Keeper of the Grove, sitting at 125 mana, should be able to do a little bit of something here. Archer quickly gets ensnared there as the Death Knight now tries to retreat back. Alright, Ghouls are retreating back once more. Entangle of that gold mine has begun. Tech to tier 2 nearly done. Meanwhile, Lich is getting added in. We are already teching to tier 3. No sign of a slaughterhouse yet. Alright, lines are not well defined at all. There goes another Ghoul, the Keeper of the Grove, living up to his name, making sure to just take this Twisted Meadows map, take this grove, and really protect it from all of these undead ghouls. However, as we eventually start transitioning into Crypt Fiends, or perhaps Abominations, that Entangle is not going to be nearly as, well, and I guess that's one of the reasons why Entangle is just so powerful. If it goes onto a low supply unit, it is essentially dead. Keeper of the Grove am able to even take out a ghoul even with just a level 1 Entangle. However, if you take it onto an Abomination, the Abomination would end up surviving. The downside, though, is that you lose an Abomination for a good, what is that, 5 seconds out of a battle. It's taking damage, and well, it does a very large shift. Let's take a look at this. Keeper of the Grove gonna get to level 3 here. We may be getting in some additional ends, perhaps level 2. This is a mass archer army coming in from Moon, as the Lich, oh, there goes a quick Frost Nova, is going to be able to finish off an archer. One more shot. Oh, unable to chase that archer down to 5 hit points, able to get away. Trading a little bit of damage, Death Coil, Frost Nova, and one more shot denied by Moon. Beautifully done. Mana all lost here, and this is all strategic by Moon to make sure his opponent doesn't get any experience. Killing your own army is a way to make sure that your opponent isn't getting additional experience, but I don't think it is very cost effective. Now, I saw a reveal here, not quite sure who did the reveal, making sure perhaps there wasn't a shade right there. There goes a Wisp once more. FoV not getting that much experience, only sitting on level 2 and level 1 on his heroes. Relatively low, as ghouls are going to be joining in on the fight. Now, ghouls perhaps need a bit of ghoul frenzy. Has that been researched as of yet? No. Getting into Crypt Fiends now. Ghouls going to go ahead, just try and make their way through, perhaps surround, giving perhaps a level 2 on the Lich is still too far away. Just a little bit of experience and a little bit of items once more, as we're looking at a Mantle of Intelligence on that Lich. Taking a look back around, Goblin Tinker is the second hero of choice by Moon, and Goblin Tinker as a second hero is, well, rather unorthodox. We are also looking at a very large piercing army, 16 to 18 piercing damage, and this large piercing army can cause a bit of trouble. We don't see any sort of Frost Nova as of yet, or excuse me, not Frost Nova, Fire Breath, something that is effective at taking down a swarm of units right there. As you can take a look at this, all of these Ents are just absorbing a bit of damage. As a Forest Troll Warlord could get taken down, and if it gets taken down at the hands of well, there it goes. Scourge Bone Chimes now being given. That was a big boost for FoV to take that bit of experience. Meanwhile, the Tinker with Rockets able to stun quite a bit. By stunning 1 to 2 seconds, you allow the archers to get in an additional volley of damage, which is really where most of your damage is coming from right now. 17 to 21 piercing damage per attack. Mass ghouls coming in. There is one Obsidian statue in the back holding strong. Death Knight should be able to get to level 3 here, and level 2 Death Coil is exactly what the doctor ordered for this Death Knight. Death Knight now sitting at 3. Lich is out onto the field with that Scourge Bone Chimes. Dark Ranger is here as well. We're going to be going into an engagement here as a big Frost Nova takes down some units. Alright, lesser Dark Minions are going to be adding into the numbers as well. We don't... Oh, there's the Dust of Appearance. Obsidian statues now causing problems as well, as units are just falling left and right. There goes one Fairy Dragon. Perhaps more Fairy Dragons will get taken down. Destroyer doing a good job finishing off many of those units as well, as it was able to, well, devour magic and finish off these Force of Natures. And now what's going to end up happening? Well, more experience for the Lich, Death Knight, and Dark Ranger. Dark Ranger still sitting at level 153 supply compared to 48. A stun and now landing. However, a couple of units able to get away. Low hit point archer somehow able to make it through. Able to get through that army, but ended up getting stuck. We still see a missing obsidian statue. It is now gone, and with no obsidian statue, an obsidian statue getting caught in transit. That is exactly the worst thing that can happen, as the Death Knight now trying to make its way over. Well, the Death Knight needs to bring over the Unholy Aura to get that unit back a little bit closer. Why is the Death Knight leading the army there? No, it should perhaps be trying to trail behind the obsidian, or next to the obsidian statue, so at least there is a bit of a movement speed bonus. All right, ghouls now joining in on the fight. There is that vampiric aura points per swipe, as the obsidian statue is finally out on the field. Let's take a look at this. What item? Potion of Invulnerability now given, and we're also getting into, well, let's take a look at this. We should be looking at Devour Magic right there, getting in some additional hit points, trying to finish off some units. Lich could be in trouble. Lich could be looking for a Death Coil here. Where is that Death Coil? Oh, a stun onto the Death Knight. Death Knight without mana. The obsidian statue not, I repeat, not giving mana and hit points. And that was the reason for the death of the Lich. Low on mana. And now making it unable to heal with the Death Coil. Had a potion of greater mana. Didn't decide to pull the trigger. Got stunned. And with that, Moon gets a level 2 Lich kill. Now, obsidian statues are getting added back in. Both sides sitting on a low upkeep. 7 gold a second compared to 14 gold a second. Mass archers, 2-1 upgrades, dealing so much damage. Fairy dragons up in the air, just mana flaring, destroying everything, as well as the Goblin Tinker is sitting at level 3 with also a pendant of mana. Pendant of mana, 300 additional mana. That's going to make it very difficult to shut down, as we're now also going into Druids of the Talon. Mass archer army here, mass piercing. Goblin Tinker now trying to get into that front spot. Let's take a look. Let's see how much damage one of those volleys will in fact do, going after, well, they're going after split units right now, which is perhaps a little bit of an issue. You don't want to split your attacks across multiple units. You end up taking more damage as well. Oh, True Shot Aura. True Shot Aura now all across all of these archers, an additional +2 damage. 20 to 26 damage. Very high indeed. 58 supply compared to 59. Obsidian statue, Dark Ranger is here nearby, wanting to get some, well, perhaps get to level 3. Death Knight may, however, put a stop to that, though, as the Death Knight also wants to get to level 4. Take down one unit. Perhaps it is going to back away. If it could get to level 3 on the Dark Ranger as well, those Dark Minions would become much more high on hit points, causing a lot of problems, as well as the Lich would be able to regenerate more mana. Dark Ranger gets to level 3 there. Death Knight sitting at level 4. Lich is sitting still at level 2. Alright, Death Coil detonation right there. You see an army of lesser dark minions. Where is the Lich making its way out? Keeper of the Grove is trying to dive on in here, and here you go. There is that -5 armor, or -4 armor. The Keeper of the Grove now taking pretty much full damage. Staff of Teleportation. Are we going to see it actually get... Oh! The Death Coil, the attacks, is it going to be able to make it? No, the Keeper of the Grove able to heal back up that Staff of Teleportation in time. Alright, Mana Flare across multiple units here. Troll High Priest taking massive damage, even just trying to creep. Goblin Tinker with that True Shot Aura, well, leading the army well, but also low on hit points. FoV, if it's able to just catch that Tinker out of position for a short amount of time, that would cause a lot of problems. 15 to 17 damage compared to 9 to 10. hit points are well, only 215 to 300, so the lesser dark minions are actually weaker, but we'll see what the follow-up play is going to be here. All right, are we going to see the death of an archer? One more shot. Yes, there it goes. Dark minion now out onto the field. 15 to 17 damage. These dark minions are actually as strong as those Ents. 290 hit points compared to 300, and the damage is, well, about the same. Let's take a look at this. 15 to 17, 300 hit points. So that's how is this all going to follow up here? Scroll of Talon Portal lands right in here. All the units are going to be able to back away. Crypt Fiends are all going to be in position. No, they are backing up as well. 66 supply compared to 61. Death Knight perhaps going to try and put pressure onto this entangled gold mine. As you see, Moon also doing a double expand as well. He's expanding everywhere on the map, being everywhere you don't want him to be, getting resources and perhaps getting even more of an economy going.
Our forces are under attack.
All right, as FoV now scouts out and quickly finds this Tree of Life, it will get taken down. Moon's army pretty much walking in a single file line, and this is a little bit of a stuff scenario as we see the rockets just stunning that back line right there. All right, units are now going to make their way in. 75 supply compared to 65. Mana Flare here ready to go, and with that Mana Flare coming online, it really just shuts down a lot of the healing. As you can take a look, a Crypt Fiend quickly getting taken down there. Destroyer wants to devour some, absorb some mana. Now you're going to go into the air as well. Are we going to perhaps turn around and devour magic again? As the Goblin Tinker, it just seems to be walking so fast. Devotion, Aura, Staff of Preservation, Amulet of Spell Shield preventing much of that damage. Death Coil saves again as, well, more stuns landing onto that Abomination. Unit's now trying to head back out. A little bit of a chase. Lich able to focus down a unit there, now being forced to retreat. Are we going to see an entangle onto any of those units as well? The Abominations and the Crypt Fiends find the Fairy Dragons out of position. Once they are webbed down, they are vulnerable to all ground attacks, including Abominations, as the units are now making their rounds out again. Lich trying to go after more units. Crypt Fiends could try to go after that last Fairy Dragon there. Death Knight, Death Coil, there is some more, well, stuns being thrown down once again. Destroyers are here ready to go, but they are not going after any real target as more stuns get taken down as well. Obsidian Statue in the back. Where is this army? More army units making their way over. Destroyers are overhead. Abomination absorbing way too much damage. Death Coil is going to be able to save that unit. Death Coil, yes, a level 2 Death Coil should be coming online. There is that level 2 Death Coil, but the archers are now poking away as well. Abomination in that frontline location. Crypt Fiends trying to push through 67 supply compared to 61. Keeper the Grove now chasing after the other side as well. Lich in a little bit of trouble. Let's take a look. Dark Ranger down to 79 hit points. It's trying to get away. It gets taken down. Dark Ranger first to fall. Keeper the Grove is going to go ahead and teleport back out and saving all of the rest of the army. There you have it. Moon with a 16 supply advantage after taking out FoV's additional or Dark Ranger, that third hero. With that, that is the game. FoV felt like he couldn't wrap it up, couldn't finish it up, and you have Moon as your victor. A very clear victory between well, very high level players. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed it.